good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. Welcome to the free Astrotheology course. Our textbook is The Devil's Pulpit by the Reverend Bill Darrell-El. No, by the Reverend Robert Taylor. All right. The link to the free PDF is in the description area of this video, y'all. And you'll also find links to my classes, streaming and live online, and my Ancient Ibaryath books. And give me 1 second. So both streaming and Ancient Ibaryath. So thanks everybody for your support. I really appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. We're going to pick up where we left off. We're on part 2. One moment. All right, so we're on part 2. Of the Star of Bethlehem. Part 2. What page are we on? Page 23. Nope, page 24. Page 24. I strongly recommend that y'all go back and watch number 13 again. Okay, I strongly recommend that. So in Vietnam, you get complimentary tea. It has a very, very fresh taste. Actually, I would rather have the tea than the coffee. The coffee here is not that good. At least the one that they gave me. But anyway, you have to. I'm near an airport, so there's nothing I can do about the noise. So let's get started. We're going to begin on page 24. Page 24. I don't have time to give a summary, okay? So let's get started. We got about 1 hour for this class. I'm going to start at the last paragraph on page 23. As we find the grave historian Eusebius assuring us that the martyrdom of Polycarp and the reign of Marcus Aurelius at Smyrna 200 years after the pretended date of this affair. Okay, pretended date, 200 years after the pretended date of this affair took place by order of the self-same bloody King Herod, notwithstanding the worms eating him up. Y'all should remember the reference to the worms, right? The worms, JC says that he's a worm and not a man. Y'all remember that? And there is some issue as to whether, I forget the particular verse, but whether it should be translated as worm or black beetle, maybug, and all of that. All right, and that the worm has the victory in the grave, right? Because the worms are going to eat dead flesh in the soil, okay? So notwithstanding the worms eating him up, as they do every year, when he enters into the sign of the scorpion of October, and gives not God the glory, gives not Zeus the the glory. Gives not Odin, even Elohim, y'all, the glory. Anubis, Sirius, the dog stars, there's major and minor. So be very cautious with this word capital G-O-D. Not to mention, the good and the dog spelled backward, good without the O, all of these things. So you have to be very careful when you deal with that word G-O-D. Who are they talking about? In other words, who are you calling on? Because when you invoke, you best believe that there's a response, whether you are aware of it or not. But not alone the name of King Herod, but the name of the children whom it is so ridiculously supposed that King Herod slew. So y'all should remember, King Herod never lived. By the way, you'll get this information on page 22 and 23, all right? King Herod never lived, but this is all astrological, all right? King Herod having reference to Hercules, okay, having reference to Hercules and the hero of the skin. So we're not going to go through all of that, okay? And the children are Gemini. Okay, and Gemini are Rachel's two children, according to Jeremiah. Rachel's two children, Benjamin and Joseph. And that in Rama actually literally means the Zodiac, the Maserat, the Zoad. Okay, any questions? This is why Rachel is weeping for her children. Why? Because the brightness of Gemini is overpowered by the brightness of the sun. And so because the brightness of the sun is so glorious, not religiously, y'all, it means it's just bright, like a bright light. You can't see Gemini. So it said that the two children are dead. In other words, you just can't see the constellation Gemini because of the brightness of the sun. But that was remixed into a story where Herod is killing, the children who are 2 years old and, all of that. All right, so this is what the author is referencing. So let's continue. But not alone the name of King Herod, but the name of the children whom it is so ridiculously supposed that King Herod slew. In its original significance and historical derivation, demonstrates the astronomical relations of the whole mystery. Herod the king, that is Hercules, the hero of the skin, put away all the boys. Now the Greek word, we see the Greek word, I guess I'm covering what I covered yesterday at the end. Y'all take a look at the Greek word. Y'all see that looks like a Roman number 2, and then it has AIDS behind it. Okay, well that Roman number 2, well that letter or word, I don't speak Greek, but it looks like Gemini. Gemini looks like a Roman numeral 2. 2 pillars connected at the top and the bottom. That's how they explain it. All right? But note this. I'll let the author speak for himself. Herod the king, that is Hercules, the hero of the skin, remember? The lion skin. Hercules is always depicted wearing lion skin. Put away all the boys. Now the Greek word, we just went through it, I just showed it, betrays to us the Coptic article to, in composition with the Phoenician aids or 80s. The whole word, pi, 80s, being the composition, or being the common title rather, of the sun. Y'all got that? Pi 80s is the title of the sun, the S-U-N, sun. All right? Formed of the radicals pi, aid, pi, add, and s. That's 3 radicals. Meaning the Lord fire. Y'all got that? The Lord fire. Let me show you this. This is page 24, y'all. Page 24. Make sure y'all go back and watch number 13, okay? So it's a compound word. Pi, s. Pi. The next radical is ad. The next radical is es. It means Lord of the Sun. All right? We're talking about King Herod, the astrological meaning from which the Bible story has its origin. All right, y'all? How are we figuring this out? How? We're using etymology and philology and astrology. All right? 3 sciences, 3 disciplines. Okay? So we have the Coptic article. Let me show y'all this. See, this is what they're hiding. This is why they add new grammar rules. They add new sounds. Let me restate it. They change the sound. So this is coming out of the Coptic language. All right? So that's one language. And then we have the Phoenician 80s. So that's 2 languages. Why are they mixing up languages on you? Why are they mixing up languages? Why are they making words? Using roots, bases from other languages and putting them together. Well, I'll tell you why, because they don't want you to know the meaning of the word. It's to fool you, to make you a believer, put you in bondage. That's what it's all about, to put you and keep you in bondage. There's no other reason for it. So you'll never figure this out. And they're definitely not going to teach you etymology. Okay? All right. So the whole word, Pleiades, being the common title of the sun, formed by the radicals pi, ad, and s, right here. Combined Coptic and Phoenician languages. So unless you understand that, that's how they're forming these words, you'll be lost in the sauce believing everything that they tell you. All right? Let's continue. It means, again, the Lord fire. Hence the Latin word for a boy, puer, is the Greek word for fire. Okay, y'all? So now they're doing it again. So now we're dealing with Latin and Greek. 4 languages that you need to know in order to understand what this story is about. Hence the Latin word for boy, puer, is the Greek word for fire. Y'all see the game here? You see the code? Can you see the code? The root of the English word, let me repeat that. The root of the English words pure and purity. So now 5 languages. English. And the key of the evangelical conundrum, quote unquote, blessed are the pure of heart, for they shall see God. Put 2 and 2 together, who are the pure of heart? Gemini. How is it that they see God? Because the sun goes into the house of Gemini. So blessed are the pure of heart. Pure, pu'er. Do y'all see it? Pu'er. Can y'all see that? Right there, pu'er. Y'all see it? P-U-E-R. Pu'er. Hence the Latin word for boy is pu'er. Boy. How many boys? 2 boys. Benjamin and Joseph. Gemini. Everybody see it? So the Latin word for boy is pu'er, is the Greek word for fire. Fire boy. Fire boy. Fire boy. 2 fire boys. That's Gemini. Fire referencing stars. Is it clear? Blessed. Hold on, y'all. Let me find my place. So here's the key again, and the key to the evangelical conundrum. Blessed are the pure in heart. Blessed are the 2 fire boys. Blessed are Gemini, for they shall see God. They shall see what? Hercules, Zeus, Jupiter. These are all the S-U-N sun. Okay? So this is the last I'll say about it. This is the sun. This is Gemini. Okay? So the sun goes into Gemini. Now you can no longer see. Let me redo. This is Gemini 2. The sun goes into Gemini. Now you can no longer see Gemini. Why? Because the sun is so bright, it drowns out Gemini. When the sun leaves, well, now you can see it again. That's what it's saying. Nothing more, nothing less. All right, let's continue. And these boys in Ramah, which Herod passed over, are demonstrated to have been none other than the fiery boys of the Zodiac. That's Gemini. The 2 bright clusters of stars representing the 2 figures of 2 boys, which the sun enters in the month of May, and for which Rachel weeps and will not be comforted, not because they are killed, but because they are not. That is, because they are rendered invisible, no longer to be seen. I'm not coming back here. This music is going to get a YouTube strike. Let me end the video, y'all. Let me end the video.